News America. Shams Charania reporting that Austin Reeves intends to sign a 4-year, $185 million max contract to return to the Lakers. He declined his player option to get this long-term deal done. Last season, Reeves averaged 23 points per game, but only appeared in 51 games due to injuries. This signing takes care of one of LA's big offseason priorities. The next, LeBron James' future. The Lakers got just a taste of what was possible when the team was healthy. They were 20-9 in 29 games. LeBron James, Luka, and Austin Reeves played together last season. In all other games, they were 33-20. Joining us now is our senior NBA reporter, Brian Windhorst. And Wendy, Austin Reeves gets a well-deserved historic payday. His summer is off to a great start. So what more can you share about the Lakers investing long-term in him?
Well, the Lakers, I think, were a little skittish that Austin Reeves might have a real market when free agency would be set to open next week, particularly the Detroit Pistons. The Pistons already have a little bit over $30 million in cap space, and in recent days, they've been involved in trade talks to open up more. The Lakers, I think, were a little bit concerned the Pistons could come into the market and give Reeves a huge offer on June 30th. He's unrestricted. He wouldn't have to let the Lakers get a chance to match. They didn't want him on the market. So they go, I think, a little farther than they wanted to. But the strange thing about this is that it won't really affect their salary cap space.
All right, so how does it affect their ability to be able to retain LeBron James and other key free agents?
Yes, this is really the reason why NBA teams have Ivy League guys running their strategy departments, because of what I'm about to explain to you. Austin Reeves will hit the Lakers' books at $21 million, even though he's going to make over 40. Every dollar they pay LeBron James will affect the amount of cap space they have, whereas the amount of money over $21 million will not affect it in Austin Reeves' contract. I know it's complicated. So the Lakers still have $50 million in cap space to use on free agents. They can still go out into the marketplace in a week and try to steal away, guys that are on other teams. But whatever they negotiate with LeBron James, whether it's now or later, would eat into that space. So the Lakers obviously still have to be careful and still have to really do some homework and see what they can do with other free agents really before doing something with LeBron James.
Okay, it is complicated, but that's why we have you here to explain it. Wendy, we need you to stand by for us a little bit longer. Brian?
Okay, Scooby, a new era for NBA talent began last night. First round of the NBA draft. The Wizards took BYU's A.J. Debonsa, #1 overall, after a year where he led D1 in scoring, averaging 25.5 points per game. First player to lead D1 in scoring and then go first in the draft since the big dog Glenn Robinson did it in 1994. At #2, Darren Peterson. He went to the Jazz. Second top 5 pick for Utah in the last 2 seasons alongside Ace Bailey. They took him 5th overall last year. It was the first time the Jazz have had top 5 picks in consecutive years. Cam Boozer joined the Grizzlies after being taken at 3. He's now the highest drafted player whose father was a former NBA All-Star, passing Austin Rivers, son of Doc Rivers, who was taken 10th in 2012. And Caleb Wilson came off the board at 4 to the Bulls after setting UNC's freshman scoring record. He's the first Tar Heel selected in the lottery since 2019. Kobe White went 7th. Cameron Johnson went 11th. And here is a look at the lottery. 11 of the 14 lottery picks were freshmen, tied for the most in any draft in NBA history. The 3 non-freshmen, how about Morez Johnson Jr., Yaxel Lindenborg, and Adai Mara, all teammates from Michigan's national title team. This also marked the first time since 2019 that every lottery pick was drafted out of college. Brian Windhorst is back with us. So, all right, Windman, hearing your name called obviously early in the draft has got to be a dream. But in reality, the fit is always more important. Which of the top 4 picks you think is entering the best situation?
Well, I got to tell you, when you look at who you might want to project for Rookie of the Year, let me just say this. A.J. DeBonsa, he's obviously very highly regarded, but he's joining a team where there's going to be a veteran point guard in Trae Young and a veteran big man in Anthony Davis. He's going to have to fit in between those guys. At the 2 pick, I think they'll start Darren Peterson, but there's going to potentially be a choice to make between Peterson and Ace Bailey. I'm not so sure how he's going to solidify that role, at least right now. In Memphis, where you've got Cam Boozer, there is a sort of a silent standoff between the Grizzlies and their franchise point guard and Ja Morant. I don't even know who's going to be getting Boozer the ball at this point next season. So let me just offer up that Caleb Wilson is walking into a situation where the entire Bulls franchise is totally going to be built around him having an amazing rookie year. I think all 4 of these guys have a chance to all be contenders for Rookie of the Year, but I love the situation that Wilson is going to find himself in coming out of the gate. Now, that team out of those 4 might win the fewest games, and I think the Wizards and the Jazz both have their sights on going all the way from the top of the draft into the play-in zone next year, which is really unheard of. But watch out for Caleb Wilson when those betting odds come out at Rookie of the Year odds.
I mean, so many people have said he's probably got the biggest upside out of everybody who got drafted in that top 5. All right, now that you've had some time to really digest the first round, would you walk away as your biggest takeaway?
How about the height race between the 2 teams that were in the Western Conference Finals, the Spurs and the Thunder? Both of them ended up with 2 first-round picks last night. Look at what they did, drafting more size to play against each other. Right there, the Thunder were thrilled that Adai Amara from Michigan was available to be taken. 7'4", 7'7" wingspan. I spoke to him within 30 seconds. He was talking about having to play against Victor Wembanyama. The Spurs took Jaden Quintanz out of Kentucky and then traded back into the draft to get Terrace Reed out of UConn because they want some more size. In this Western Conference, if you think you're going to compete, you don't just need a first-string center. You just don't need a second-string center. You may need a third and fourth center with the way these things are going.
Yeah, you're right about that. You know, before the draft tipped off, Shams Charania reported, obviously, the Heat landed the 2-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, a blockbuster trade. Celtics are also in on Giannis, but Milwaukee took Miami's offer, which included 3 first-round picks. Bucks used one of those first-round picks to take Nate Ament at number 13, in addition to taking Braden Burries at number 10. So even with Giannis in the fold, there's plenty of work that needs to be done for that Heat front office to build around him. What moves can we expect from Miami to fill out that roster?
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a player that Miami likes in the early part of the second round to see if they could trade up into it. They have a pick tonight, but there may be a guy that they like, and some of these picks at the top of the second round in the low 30s might be available. They need to add 5 guys to their team, and they really need anybody who can handle the ball and shoot. And if there's a guy they think they can add to the back of their rotation, I wouldn't be surprised if they would do that. But I would also see them be very, very aggressive coming out of the gates in offering players on minimum contracts who might be able to help them. Two names I'm going to give you: Anthony Simons, who is out there and trying to rebuild his value after he didn't have a prolific season last year, and a guy who was a teammate of Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee, won a title with him, Chris Middleton. Look for those 2 guys to be some of the minimum level guys that the Heat go after when free agency opens.
Okay, we'll take a look, and we'll obviously be watching that. You can catch more of Wendy 3